everyone! So I've got a special guest here, but before we continue, I would like to remind you to please make sure to subscribe to my channel and click on that bell button so you're always notified whenever I have new videos like this. Okay, so we've got here Dr. Vicky Belo herself.
Hi everyone!
Finally.
So nice to guest naman on your
Yes,
vlog. Hi.
eto na, feeling ka host na ako.
Talagang I'm watching you with a wow. So professional.
What? So, a couple of days ago, I asked you guys to send me questions over on Instagram, like your beauty concerns or beauty treatment questions that you're too shy to ask to maybe your doctor or to go inside Belo, na-intimidate ka siguro or something. So I said, send in your questions. I'm gonna keep you guys anonymous. I've already compiled all your questions.
Dami ah.
Sobrang dami daw.
Wow, ang dami. I'm so thrilled.
So, a lot of them are actually mostly about like acne, spots, and also a few like vagina questions. So we'll get to that.
My favorite topic.
First question, how do I treat my acne breakouts?
There are really 4 causes to acne. That's why it's so hard to treat because some people just address one and you have to address all 4. But the number one, the worst thing that will cause acne for sure is oil. So you have to control the oil more than anything. Of course, acne is caused by bacteria, right? The acne vulgaris, Propionibacterium acnes. It's the official name. So that's one.
Propionibacterium
acnes. Wow.
acnes.
And they usually give you antibiotic astringents. So they give you Dalicin, erythromycin, tetracycline. But that's not so good because you don't want to keep putting antibiotic.
Because it's
astringents.
harsh, no?
No, it's not so much that it's harsh, but it kills also the good bacteria. And you know, you have to
There's such a
have
thing as good
balance.
bacteria?
Yes, there are a lot of good bacteria and bad bacteria. I am a believer in the microbiome, which is your gut. That's where all your bacteria live. And there's really a straight connection between your skin and your brain even. So if you have a healthy gut, which means you have a good combination of good and bad bacteria, plus if you put sunblock, sometimes the sunblocks are oily. If they're from the States, they're meant for countries that are not humid. That's why Belo Essentials came up with our own sun expert.
Sun expert!
Sun expert talaga because it protects us with its matte.
And it's very light. It
And
feels
it's very
light.
light. It doesn't get aggravated by humidity. So when you're young, like Scarlet kanina, she was here, your skin is so nice. You start getting hormonal bad skin. Now it's early. It used to be about 11 or 12. Now we have patients as young as 7 or 8. Because
So if it's hormonal, doc, parang it's really in your hormones. It's not with like how you wash your face, how you maintain.
Yeah. So it's genetic. So if your parents had bad skin, if one of them, did any of your parents have bad skin when they were young?
My dad, but I don't think it's because of his hormones or whatever. I think it's because he had a hard life.
Well, it's possible. Usually, the tendency to have oiliness is genetic. And then the bacteria, the combination is very bad because the bacteria eat the oil. And then when they eat the oil, parang their byproduct is acid. Free fatty acids, so that's very irritating to the pores. So then you get pimples. The hormones naman, of course, you notice when you reach your puberty time, when girls usually get their period, when boys start to change their voice.
Yeah.
To a much lower voice. That's when they start getting acne. And of course, food is so important as well. And sleep. It's very important to fall asleep, sana by 10 p.m. But I know young people never do that. So at the most 11, the reason is hormones bump into each other. God has created our body to a rhythm.
So it's not about how long your sleep is.
It's how early you sleep.
Oh.
It's actually better to sleep early. Kunyari, you sleep at 10. Maybe you can wake up. Let's say you have an exam tomorrow. So a lot of people will burn the night candle, sleep at 1 or 2 in the morning, and then, wake up normal time. It's much better to sleep earlier, like 10 p.m., and then wake up at 3 a.m. Diba? And then study then. Number 1, your brain is fresh, it's rested. Number 2, the hormones were already secreted along the way because there's supposed to be hormones that are secreted at 11 p.m. God made our body so accurate, amazing. There's a rhythm to it and it knows you should sleep by 9 or 8, diba? So, but let's move it to 10 because it's impossible in this day and age. But mga 11:30, there's a hormone that comes out na. Tapos at 1 o'clock, there's another. Now, if you don't sleep until 12 midnight, the hormone that should have come out at 11:30 didn't come out because you have to be asleep for it to come out. And so the 1 o'clock comes out and then they make banga-banga there and then they cause a lot of acne. Now food, this is also genetic, it's in your blood, not everybody reacts to it, but a lot of people, dairy is very inflammatory.
Because I was just telling Doc that I came from a huge breakout, major breakout because I ate so much cheese from an event that I went to.
Sarap, no? That's Scarlett's
Sarap.
favorite. But cheese is dairy, so is milk, so is egg, and all those things, it can cause acne. So don't do too much of it. Now, how do you cure your acne? So there are two companies that people get confused. There's Belo Medical Group, which is the clinic, which you go to, and there's the Belo Essentials, which we came up with because there are a lot of people who can't go to Belo Medical Group, either because it's expensive for them, or they're too busy, or too young, or whatever. So we came up with an acne kit, which we're very proud of because it's amazing. It really, it's got a great cleanser, and it's made from bee sting or
Bee
something,
venom.
but bee venom yan. Buti ka pa, alam mo. So ngayon, the bee
1
venom,
point
the
for this
spot-
Stella Bee.
Yeah, I know. The bee venom, we have a roller or spot treatment. You just put it on and it really decreases the inflammation. Now, one of the things I see that causes a lot of acne are people who don't wash your face well. So when you wash your face, okay, so you have cleanser, diba? So you tend to wash, but you put usually a lot under the net that you don't wash off after. Kasi when you make like that splash, parang nakakalimutan to splash here. And then you gather a lot of soap or cleanser down here, and then it will cause acne. So if you get acne around the jawline, around the hair,
That might be the reason.
that might be the reason. You get a lot of pimples around the mouth area. Check your toothpaste. It might have a very high concentration of fluoride. Then the toothpaste that you need to use is either yung mga organic that you have to buy in healthy options. So usually mga baking soda or
Pero,
Sensodyne.
Doc, paano? Hindi nakaka-fresh yun usually.
Kaya
Parang
nga
they're
eh,
not so
sorry. And then you put a mouthwash mo siguro, at least the contact is not so long. Shampoo, oh my gosh, yung shampoo na super ganda for the hair, na super shiny and silky, very bad for your skin.
strong. Why?
Because it's so good for your hair, it makes it soft.
So
And so
effective.
if your face, it makes it oily and it clogs your pores.
Ah.
So if you suddenly get breakout, it might also be from hair products. The way to know is if it's in the jawline, like that,
So what
and
kind
it's
of
in the
shampoo,
hair.
Doc, do you recommend?
I would recommend clear shampoos, baby shampoo, Neutrogena, stuff that you can see through. So if it's milky, bad yun, usually, because it's ano.
I've heard, Doc, if the treatments are always milky.
So the treatments, you only put it in the
Sa baba.
baba, do not put it here, because if you put it up here,
Paano,
naman
Doc, when I put, I'll get acne naman.
Sometimes if you get acne, and acne is not just from the hair products, it's also the one that, you know, if your hair keeps touching your back, it irritates there's hair here, you don't see it, but there's hair here, and then it makes like that.
Ah.
Chocolate does not cause acne. It does not. You know what causes acne? The nuts in the chocolate. It's just chocolate, dark chocolate, light chocolate. Kunyari, yung bar lang. But if you eat with peanuts, with almonds, because the oil in the nuts causes acne. And chips and anything fried, oh, that's horrible.
Does
for your
salt
acne.
cause acne?
Salt, no, I don't think it causes acne. But studying late, drinking, smoking, that's not good.
But Doc, is there a way for you to tell what caused your acne? Like, you know how if it's hormonal imbalance, usually parang magkakadikit sila when they come out of your face, right?
Well, I notice it's on the chin, and you're right, it's nakadikit. That's the only way that I can tell it's hormonal. But if it's food, it's
There's
like all
no
over
way.
the place. I can't really tell. Like, for example, your skin's good, right? Usually.
Usually.
But when you had that breakout, so something happens. So you were able to correlate it because you have good skin normally. And it's also hard when you use a lot of makeup brushes. So you guys, you have to clean it well, you know, and then of course you don't leave it damp. Because many people clean it and then they just leave it to dry. In the banyo where it's dark and it's humid, and you know, you can really increase the number of bacteria in your brushes. So you have to buy those cleansing things, and I actually have my
How do you dry
helper.
it?
Blow dry na malamig. Not naman hot kasi nasisira.
Or use a sterilizer.
Or use a yeah, buy one of those purple thingies, that the black light
Meron,
thing.
like Eco Mom and the V-Ray that I showed you guys on my other vlog.
V-Ray, I don't know that. I will buy
It's
V-Ray.
cool.
Where do you get that?
I'll show you later,
Oh,
Doc.
say.
Someone is getting married, so she's saying how to deal with pimples 4 days before my wedding. There was also one who asked, like, how can you get rid of a pimple in an instant? Meron bang mga
Meron bang instant? As I was
Oh.
telling you, the bee venom thing, it does dry it up. So the first marriage, when I had acne really bad, and I wanted to look gorgeous for my wedding, what I did is I did birth control pills. So the Yan 3-5 is a very good birth control pill because it's very high in estrogen.
But how soon can you see the effects?
I would do it 2 months before getting married.
2 months before.
And then, just so you'll really look amazing.
But if
Because
you
the
weren't
estrogen
able to
is very
prepare,
high.
Doc,
If you
tapos
weren't
biglang
able, then I would
injection,
take...
diba?
The problem with injections, if it's just a bump with no point, then you can inject and it will go down. But if it has already a point, you have to extract and then you have to inject. The problem is sometimes it causes itim, which is coverable by makeup. diba? So you'll just have to have concealer on your wedding day because we have so many brides who want to look amazing for the wedding. So I tell them already, sorry, but we'll put you on antibiotics. Before, we didn't have to do that with you because your skin's so nice.
Not yet.
Right? But for other people who really have acne, we treat their skin usually 4 months before. You know, even if you have makeup kasi, lubog-lubog can show in
My mga
pictures.
craters.
Yeah, so we fix already the scars with the Energet. It's very good. It really makes the scars come out. So that's what we do before the wedding. Para talaga on your wedding day. Guys, this is the most important day of your life. Photographically. I'm sure it's also in the heart, but you'll never have as many
Photographs pa nga,
pictures
you
as
can
your
Photoshop pa eh. Pag videos, halata. Right?
halata. And of course, people who see you there, you don't want naman that you look pretty in the photos and then live, ay, ang dami ng tigyawat or ang dami ng
And it
butas.
affects your confidence. So that's why you really have to prepare. I've never gone to a beauty center as much as I've gone to Belo before my wedding. It did so much before my wedding.
And it showed. It's so
Parang
pretty
2 months
and
before
blooming.
nga lang, I only had 2 months left.
That's a good thing. Guys, give us naman more time.
Yeah.
She started 2 months before, but she really has pretty nice skin already. But for me, it should start at least 3 to 4 months before.
Yeah.
And we will
Pero
give you
walang
our
last
medical
minute
products.
remedy, Doc? Like, put ice on it?
Oh, I
para hindi siya
wish,
ganun
I
ka-red?
wish.
Wala?
I think the best one is, I guess, the injection. Canacord's the fastest. But you have to make sure that it's a proper dose. So at Belo, it has to be only like 1/3 the normal. Because a lot of other clinics who are not so well versed, it's a doctor injects you. They tend to do the full dose. The problem with that is it's very
Lulubog.
fast. Lulubog naman, di ba? So guys, please go to somebody who's really qualified kasi that's your face and you only have one.
Yeah.
If you destroy it, hala.
Yeah. Kahit plastic ka, isa lang yung face mo. Someone's also asking, how can I remove or reduce pimples during pregnancy? That's sort of the same.
Okay.
Kasi pag pregnant
Parang
ka,
hindi,
you can't
wala kang
really-
magawa.
Really?
Okay. So, you know, when I was pregnant, they used to tease me that I had pimples with a little face. So pregnancy and pimples are really a problem for a lot of people because of the hormones. Diba they say pag girl yung daughter mo, maganda ka. Supposedly estrogen. When it's a boy, you're pangit because of
dark areas.
testosterone, but it's not true.
Oh,
there are
it's
just
not?
people who get really ugly when they're pregnant and I'm one of them. So I got
So
so,
it's not-
many
so-
pimples. Oh
So
my
you
God.
always got it, Doc? Every pregnancy?
Every pregnancy. With Park, I got it. He was a boy. With Crystal, I got it. She was a girl. And you know, all you can do for them is to clean. That's all. Because
And
you
no
can't-
injections, no
No
anything.
injections. We just do high frequency. It dries up the acne. But we can't give
That's a
even
treatment, Doc.
medicines. Yeah, after the facial, usually, because we steam, right? And then we extract all the whiteheads, which is very important. You have to remove them. You can't just let them dry out because otherwise it leaves black spots everywhere. And then you still don't look good. So it has to be extracted properly. Please don't go to, yung mga beauty salons. The same day that somebody's hired, they give them already an extractor with zero training. Not, I don't think they even know how to train. When you remove pimples, it's a proper way of doing it. Otherwise, it can leave holes. So you really have to go to a dermatologist. And then that's it. We can't, we just do high frequency. That's all we can do. Maybe IPL, but nothing internal. Not even medicines that can be absorbed. The pinaka worst is to give them tretinoid because it can affect the brain. Of
What's
the
a
baby.
tretinoid?
Tretinoid is retinoic acid, which is vitamin A at a high dose. So sometimes it gets absorbed from the skin and then it can go to your blood circulation. Just to be sure, of course, it's very 1,000,000% that it will happen.
But
you
of
know,
course, you can never be
yeah,
too
don't
sure
take
with a
any
baby.
chances when you're.
Do not self-medicate when you're pregnant because you don't know what's going to affect or what's going to act with your
Yeah,
baby.
so just drink a lot of water, eat a lot of vegetables. By the way, before you get married, they call it the Perricone. It's not original. I have to give credit where credit is due. So Perricone has its products. But long ago, he became very famous for the Perricone diet. So 3 days
Perricone
before,
as in the makeup brand,
as
no?
in the makeup and the skincare brand, what his advice was really good. 3 days before any special event, you eat nothing but lettuce and then
Fresh
salmon.
lettuce, no?
Fresh lettuce.
Lassi.
That's to clean out your toxins and then eat salmon.
Okay.
Because salmon is cold fish and it gives you nice omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids and it will hydrate your face without making you break out. So,
What kind of salmon, Doc? Kailangan ba like
kailangan
sushi type?
free. Yung hindi, farms.
Pero
not
any
really.
luto?
Preferably, I would do boiled or
Or
broiled
steamed,
or
ganun.
steamed. Basta don't fry.
I guess it's more focused on your diet and yung mga very
And
like
you know,
facial.
it's so important to drink 12 glasses of water a day. And if you can get the hydration bottled water, which we have in Belo, it would be really good because it neutralizes the free radicals, the OH negative. By giving you an extra H, it becomes H2O, so your free radicals just go out.
So, in connection to that, Doc, actually, people ask what facials are safe for preggers. For preggers women. Are there
Preggers.
any facials?
Is that what they call them?
That's what I
Preggers?
call them.
Actually, most of our facials are safe for
preggers.
pregnant women, preggers. So, Cleaning, of course, is safe. Power peel is safe. The signature facials, oxygen facials. I think most of the facials are safe. Yun lang, we're just very careful. You really have to tell your facialist that you're pregnant so that we can keep out things that we feel might be iffy. Magka-pregnant ka na ba? Parang you're planning.
Hindi pa.
Yeah, enjoy mo na ikaw. How old are you?
31.
36 siguro.
Oo, 33 pa. What products should acne-prone and sensitive skin types avoid? Like, if you're looking at the back of the products, like, what things?
First of all, when you use sunblock, make sure that you don't have any chemicals behind, like cinnamon, aldehyde, poly something. What you want to look lang, there are two products that you want in the back. Titanium oxide and zinc oxide. So they're both oxide. The rest of the stuff, they're not good for you. They're chemicals. That's why they've lowered the SPF of most products to 50, because when you want to make the SPF higher than 50, like 60, 70, you have to put chemicals that will be harsh for your face. One thing that really makes people break out that they're so matigas ulo about is vitamin E.
Oh, all the time. People take that, diba, Dok?
The moment you take it, you will break out if you're the type. So the other names for vitamin E, squalene. Squalene is kind of like a vitamin. And then alpha tocopherol. The vitamin E's are really bad for you. Sometimes the vitamin B12s are also bad. So for people who work out and they take a lot of protein drinks and supplements to make them stronger, they will also break out. If they do that,
Dok, if you have the vitamins na multivitamins, tas may B12 doon.
Pag B12, okay lang yan because it's konti lang. But if it has vitamin E in your multivitamin, you better watch out. Because you just observe, because this is not for everybody, but I would think it's for 70%. So it's a majority of people will break out in vitamin E. And then, of course, the very expensive creams that you buy, you like it because it's very expensive. And it's true, it's good, but not in our weather. Yeah. So, many times I get burned. I'm sure you've tried it also. When you're abroad, you buy something really nice and makes your skin so nice. And then the moment you arrive in the Philippines, you still continue to use the product and then you're breaking out. And then I'll tell the patients, this is not good for you. You cannot be in this country because you're already so humid. This is for countries like, mga European countries, mga Sweden, very dry weather. You have to keep these products in the refrigerator. And when you go abroad, you make it baon. But you cannot use it while you're here. Then they'll tell me it's so expensive, sayang naman. So you can put it on your knees, on your hands, para it's soft to hold, diba? Elbows, all those areas na medyo maitim and dry, you can do that. Or just keep it in the fridge. Because as long as it's in the fridge, it won't
longer yung life niya.
Longer yung lifetime. Vitamin C, it's a water-based vitamin. So sometimes it's good, but once you see that it's brown and oxidized already, because it's supposed to be clear, a little on the yellow side, but light yellow, sometimes it becomes brown. Bulok na yun, you throw it na ha. Don't use it anymore.
But also, I think someone asked also na, what does she do whenever it's summertime, her skin is different, pag winter, her skin is different. That's why you don't use the same products for different seasons or different weather.
Well, in the Philippines, it's hot and hotter. So but it's a good thing to have a kojic wash for your face or something that will exfoliate. And don't use moisturizers. I know it's been such a controversial topic, but this
someone
is the
asked me about that, though.
Yeah,
you said though it's a no-no.
Okay, it's a no-no to use moisturizers, and people wonder why.
Why?
You have to think of what a moisturizer is. It's an oil thing that you put on your face when there are dry spots, right? It moisturizes it, so it looks smooth and it feels good for a while. But if you don't put moisturizer, it's pangit again. It's crinkled and it looks bad. So what you really want to do is exfoliate those areas. Kasi if you look at it microscopically, for my English, parang nagpapatong-patong dead skin. You just imagine your dead skin is not exfoliating. That's why you need something like some sort of scrub, diba? Or kojic acid wash, because their acids will remove all the dead skin. So underneath all the dead skin is good skin, baby skin, that you want to show. But if you put moisturizer, you're basically putting glue on your face to keep the dead skin there. The glue na may moisturizer, so it feels good for a while. And then the next morning, if you didn't put moisturizer, it's already dry and crinkly. So what do you usually do? You put more moisturizer. And then it makes it soft again, but you're not really dealing with the cause of the problem, which is dead skin accumulating on top of your face. The other thing that moisturizers do is it sends signals to your fibroblasts, which are the cells that make collagen and elastin. They're saying, hey, we have enough moisture.
It fools them into
thinking. So anong ginagawa nitong cells? Inaantok na, rest na siya. Because you have enough already. So they will not produce their own collagen, elastin, hyaluronic acid, which we need. So you don't want to give them that bad signal. So there are two reasons why you don't do it. One is you keep dead skin on your face, which you want to get rid of because underneath that, it will show you baby skin, new skin. And two, you're signaling the body to get lazy, to stop producing, hydration kasi you already have so much.
So, Doc, hindi totoo yung cleanse, tone, moisturize?
No, we really don't agree with that. I would do wash, exfoliate every single day.
Every single day?
Every single day. You should exfoliate somewhere during the day, not twice a day, but just once. And then I would put toner, and maybe in the morning I would put a vitamin C, but that's a watery kind of vitamin C. And in the evening, basic to I would put a vitamin A. Because the vitamin A is an exfoliant. I've been using vitamin A since I was 12. It's anti-acne.
Is that like a serum, Doc?
It's usually a cream. We use the Rhinoplasty products. We have Retamax, the retinol we have. And you put it on the skin and it really exfoliates, it stops acne, it stops wrinkles, it's an all-around cream. That's for people with no problem. If you have problems like pigmentation, the last one, then you have to add certain things. But if you're just basic, get a good wash, exfoliator, vitamin C in the morning. It also protects you from the sun. Then in the evening, again, no more exfoliation, just wash, tone, and then put the vitamin A.
Oh my gosh. I learned so much. This one, very specific yung problem niya, Doc. Sabi niya, what do I do when I get pimples after every workout? Exfoliate.
Okay. After every workout.
Yeah, so maybe her pores are very open.
Yeah, pores could be open, bacteria could go in. Maybe her hair gets wet and all the product goes into her
Baka naman you
conditioning
work out
product.
with makeup.
Pwede rin. The best makeup, I really have to tell you, because people ask me all the time. It's kind of expensive, but for me, I actually sleep with it because it seems to be good for my skin. What's the name of my makeup? Makeup Forever. It's so good because I always sleep with it. Of course, it's so wrong to sleep with makeup, but you should have a good cleanser, right? I think cleansing milks are the best. And then you have to have a good eye makeup remover, which I never used to
Cleansing milk,
do.
Doc, compared to cleansing oil?
I prefer cleansing milk. I like the Clarins. I like the biologic research. Cleansing oils are good for the eye area, dry areas. So if this one doesn't have much oil, so you can use cleansing oil here. You can use it on your neck. But then if you're gonna talk about your face, kasi I always break out with mga cleansing oils. I bought those mga So I buy those and then my God, breakout galore. I'm so happy actually my face breaks out on things because it
You
gives
would know
me,
right away
so I know
which
exactly what's good. And I've tried every makeup in the world, but I keep going back to Makeup Forever because in the end, like last night I slept with it. This morning, it's really clean makeup. It doesn't have fragrance. It doesn't irritate. Galing.
But that's why when you try products out, make sure when you try new products, you try it one at a time. So if you do get breakout or any like
You know which one
sensitivities,
is
you
the
know
guilty
which
part.
one. Yeah.
Let's go to 3 days, 4 days, and then add the next one.
So for you who gets breakouts after a workout, invest in the proper makeup if you really do have to wear makeup when you work out.
And I would do, put the band.
Yeah,
May
headband.
kabado yan, pero just so that the hair products
Mala
and
80s
it doesn't go
aerobics.
this way, it goes to the back, di ba?
And always have a clean towel with you.
And always have. And dab, please, dab.
Yeah, I
Not-
always.
Not.
Don't let your sweat stay on your face.
Yes, and take a shower immediately after. Don't go home na with wet t-shirt that you let it dry because you're going to get breakout in the back naman.
Doc, someone's asking, I heard you can get freckles from chronic AHA use. How do I prevent this and how can I reverse the effects?
You
Is
don't
this true,
really get freckles because of using AHA.
What's AHA, Doc?
Alpha hydroxy acid. So they're an exfoliant. If I told you get rid of dead skin, well, that's a great way to get rid of dead skin with alpha and beta hydroxy acid. So they're made from fruit usually. So the most common one is sugarcane. That's glycolate. You have apple malic. Yung mga ganon. But it's good. It's good to use it because you get rid of the dead skin. But then, of course, if you go out in the sun and you're totally not protected, because now the dead skin's gone and you're not putting sunblock, then
So it's not a direct effect.
It's not a direct effect. It's just that you're not protecting your skin. And of course, in this country, it's impossible to avoid sun. So it's chronic damage. Like for example, Ann Curtis and I are always battling because she's very, very bad about taking care of her skin. And it was perfect when she was young. She's been my patient since she was 15. So now she's 34. That's how long. But even if you put sunblock, sometimes it's the heat. Now she's getting freckles everywhere. Like today is a cloudy day. There's no sun, you think?
But there
But the
is.
rays are going through the clouds and so now you put an umbrella, right? You wear an umbrella, guys. It's only an SPF 8 to 12. You have to get an umbrella that's a UV umbrella. And And where can you find these UV umbrellas? Usually in Japan, because they're very particular about their skin. So inside the umbrella, there's a black coating. There's another tela, para may lining. And so that's an SPF 50 to 70. But if you're just going to get the normal, ordinary umbrella that everybody has, it's only an 8 to 12, so you have false security.
But Doc, someone is asking me if, for example, you're putting on makeup that has SPF 18. Is that already enough?
SPF 18 is okay if you're not walking out in the sun. I would think a minimum SPF of 30 would be good. That's your minimum. Maximum would be 50. And reapply. Well, actually, there is one sunblock that will last 8 hours. There's only one. And that's our Zeo sunblock. Because it's not
What's that, Doc? I never
Xenobaji sunblock. It's called Eclipse. And it is a totally different
Pwede yan for
property.
oily skin, Doc.
Pwede for oily, pwede for dry. But it's funny. They cover your face with melanin. Diba melanin, when the sun hits it gets dark. They give you a fake layer of melanin so that your own melanin doesn't get hit. So you don't get pigmentation. But if it's waterproof and water resistant, you have to remember, water resistant will usually last you 90 minutes. Waterproof will last you 2 hours. That's it. And so if you're in water, the less pa it lasts. So you have to reapply.
So it doesn't depend on the SPF, Doc, how long it lasts.
No, it doesn't depend on it. What SPF means is you have sun protection factor. So if you have zero sunblock, you go out, wow, it's so easy. In 1 minute, you're already getting effects from the sun. If you have an SPF 50, supposedly 50 minutes before you get the same effect as 1 minute. Not true though, because of course it washes out unless you're going to put really thick, perspiration, whatever. So you have to reapply. I do minimum morning and then lunchtime. Because after that naman, it's 4 p.m., 5 p.m. now. But if you're the type who has to walk out
Doc,
in
if
the
you have
sun,
makeup on, how do you reapply?
you just get a sunblock that you can put on top. Our sunblock, we put it on top.
Tinted sunscreen.
Oo.
What vitamins should I take? Is taking collagen safe?
Okay, collagen is the most wonderful thing to take, and glutathione, right? Vitamins, I'm only doing vitamin C. That's all. Because everything else, I feel, Bs are getting controversial. You can get acne. B and C are the only water-soluble vitamins, which means if you overdose on them, if you take too much, you just pee it out. The ones that stay in your body are the fat-soluble vitamins. So that's vitamin A, vitamin D, and vitamin K. D is great now. That's a new thing. Before, we never used to take it, but it's anti-cancer.
That's for the bones, diba, Doc?
Bones? Supposedly we get enough from the sun, but now they're realizing we don't. So you take vitamin D, and A, siguro not more than 25,000 units a day.
What if I like to snack on carrots, Doc?
Oh, that's great. But you might turn orange, huh?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I did for a while. I love carrots, and so that's the only vegetable I eat. So I kept drinking carrot juice. Not much, even 2 glasses a day. Oh my
Tapos
gosh.
your palms
After a
would
while, I
turn
was
yellow.
orange. People were saying, why are you orange?
How do you heal that, Doc? Babawasan
So
mo
you
lang.
just have to get it out of your system. So I went back to 1 glass a day.
Okay, Doc. How about deep acne scars? Is there any non-surgical and surgical option?
Actually, for deep acne scars, all our are non-surgical. So we have so many options. We need to see what a deep acne scar is. So for example, if you have pits, like some they call that ice pick.
Like the chicken pox.
Ice pick.
ganun.
Oh, chicken pox scars are easier. Those are energetic usually. The
Energetic, I
stimulate-
also did that.
For where? Kinetic
Diba, Doc?
facelift?
Here.
Oh, yeah.
A
It's so
lifting.
fresh. So kinetic and then Fraxel is very, very good. But that one you have to analyze. You have to see the scar and then you have to match it to the laser, match it to the energet. So there are many options now.
Fraxel, Doc, is not painful, right? You will feel pain.
Fraxel, you have to put anesthesia before, but it really stimulates the scar to go up. Usually we do a combination because some scars are red, so then you have to use a V-beam. So that's why Belo has 290 lasers and machines because we need to combine things. And so we have everything. Because like other clinics, one laser is usually about 6 million, 8 million. So most clinics can't really afford to have so many. So they tend to use one machine all the time, which sometimes is not the right machine because not everything is a nail, right? It can be
Yeah.
different things. So with Belo, we refer to each other. We have 14 clinics. It's a different mix, but if you want most of the time the complete set, that would be Green Belt.
Green belt, my favorite. Okay, so that's good news. It's all non-invasive. You guys have a lot of options to choose from. But again, you need a doctor to really study what kind of treatment is perfect for how deep your scar is. Is there a home remedy or alternative to healing acne scars? What if they don't have the budget?
I don't know. Frankly, I'm not very good at home remedies. I keep reading, but nothing seems to work. Yung mga toothpaste,
Making your own mask.
baking soda, egg white. Parang for me, kasi I'm so sure that medicines will work, so I don't really go for the home remedies. And then instant pa, baka it's more irritating. In fact, one of the things we've been talking about are these myths about whitening armpits that can make it actually darker. For example, like calamansi, di ba? So people put calamansi on their armpit kasi it's an alpha hydroxy acid actually. But then it can burn, it's sumabde. It can burn your skin, so actually your armpit can become blacker.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, you know, it's so
Don't experiment.
Yeah, it's so random. Concentrations are so varied. I mean, aloe vera maybe. I don't know, but I really haven't tried, so I can't talk about it.
How can facial treatments make a difference compared to complete skin routines at home?
Okay, so you go to Belo for your cleaning, right? Because sometimes you
can't do cleaning by yourself.
Yeah,
I've tried
it's impossible. Especially if you have a pimple, you just have to imagine that
You'll worsen it.
It's a shape like this, like a little mountain or a volcano, and in the top there's a little hole. But the pus is usually quite big. So the reason I became a dermatologist is because I had really horrible skin, and I love to prick my pimples, and it would just get worse. So I said, I better learn to do this properly. So the reason you can't do it yourself is, even if you have put tissue and wash your hands.
What if you buy Doc di ba meron mga
Comedone extractor na ko. The thing is kasi right before, you think about it, ang small ng opening, right before all the pus goes out, it's very painful. So the tendency if you're doing it yourself in the mirror is to let go. Kasi masakit, di ba? So it actually sucks the pus inside the skin, and tomorrow now, from one pimple, you have 3. Di ba? Or you don't get everything out, so then it will leave black marks. So what you do at home is to prevent problems like whiteheads, blackheads, and pimples. But sometimes, because of the oiliness and everything, you can just lessen it, but you can't prevent it 100%. You know, for me, having facials is like brushing my teeth. Once a month minimum, I will go to the facialist and clean out everything so that, you know, your pores can't close on your nose. For me, it really bothers me.
Nahuli na ako nito, okay? Sabi niya, it's dirty,
You need to go. But your nose is okay. But diba, sometimes you can actually see the blackheads in the nose. So just once a month, do it. It's worth it. If you're a normal person, then you'll have great skin all the time.
So you have to go to have your facials done at least once a month.
I would think. How often are you doing it?
I haven't done it since the wedding.
See, like, that's why it's like that.
Is there a permanent result for non-invasive treatments?
Permanent. We have long-term results, but no permanent result because of course aging goes on. For example, like Ulthera will bring you back 5 years, diba?
So now I'm 26.
So you're 26 and you get your age and then you still start aging, right? So for example, somebody like you will only do Ulthera once every 2 years. Or you know, at most once a year. Somebody in
once a year, Doc, I've become addicted to it now.
45 and above will do it once every 6 months, ganon. So there's no permanent.
Even if it's surgical, Doc, but it's not.
Well, sir, even surgical, if you do a facelift, that will bring you back 7-8 years, and then when you're more 50 now, 45, and then time goes on, aging goes on.
I have large pores, especially on my forehead and nose. What should I do?
Well, that one you need a laser to do it. You need some like a Freckles laser. We have another laser that's very good, clear and brilliant, which is in Edsa Shankula. When you have large pores, basically you have to clean them out because sometimes they have oil and gunk inside.
That's why they're open.
We need a facial. But after you do the facial, immediately, para makahiya lang yan na flower, you want to close it so it doesn't accumulate so much oil. So then you need a laser. And the lasers that are very good for closing pores are Rev Light, but that's kind of temporary. People like it though because it's so painless. Or Clear and Brilliant, that one you have to put some anesthesia. You do it once a month for 4 months.
How much is that though?
Or I think it's 12,000. And then Fraxel, which is about 15, I think, 1,000 each time. But if you do it 4 times in a row, once every 4 weeks to 6 weeks, the pores will really shrink na. And if they shrink, then they won't accumulate so much oil.
And I understand because I'm very impatient as well when it comes to these things. Now, it's easy for you to let go and just to not continue your treatment. Now, you feel like you've done it once, twice, I don't really see it. It really is in the habit of like how often you do it and how consistent you are when it comes to your treatment.
Exactly. Again, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Cure.
Finish. If the doctor tells you 6 sessions, follow. If it's 4 sessions, follow. Even if you feel good and look great in 2 sessions, if you want long-term effects, you have to do the whole thing.
Correct. Someone's asking, can ice really tighten pores on the face?
Temporarily.
Temporarily.
Well, I do it because I have this new treatment that I do from Korea that I am experimenting on. And we have these new rollers that are very in right now, made out of rose quartz for love, jade for anti-inflammatory. But I roll it on my face. It seems to close my pores longer because you put it in the freezer so it's cold and then you roll it. But everything, this is a physical thing that, temporarily your pores will close.
But Doc, diba, it's not so safe to use ice directly on your face because it might burn your skin, right?
It's more heat, I think, that's bad. Because when it's hot, you really break blood vessels. Ice, if you put it derecho, yes, it's bad. But normally, because the weather's so hot, it doesn't
melts right
achieve
away.
the temperature na the super cold.
Yung follow-up question niyo, Doc, is it alright to try it on her armpit though? Why
Well,
would you have open pores on your armpit?
Well, you have inborn hair.
It's
No,
not the
so
same.
yeah, I wouldn't do it. What ba? No, we have no, sweetheart. Darling, you might hit the camera.
We have another special
Okay.
guest.
Say hi, everyone. Did you see yourself?
Someone is asking about my biggest insecurity is my nose. How much is a rhinoplasty and what are the risks? What's the downtime?
For me, also, the most important thing to do if you had a choice in your face is to make your nose smaller because the nose should really not occupy. Hi, bye, darling. You wanna go? Not
Hi.
occupy. Hi, bye. She likes to see herself. She's fascinated. The nose should not occupy a lot of space on the face. Dapat when people talk to you, they should look at your eyes because you're so beautiful. So if there's a nose blocking it, you should really make it smaller. The typical Pinoy nose is very round ang tip.
Pero swerte
Tapos
yun sa
wide.
Chinese, though.
Oo, ma'am. Totoo ba yan? So they don't have their noses done? Well, Filipinos do. Because for them, they're so conscious, especially now with things like vlogs, selfies, Facebook, Instagram. You have to have...
How much is it, though?
I think it's 185,000.
185. Pero once mo lang siya gagawin, di ba?
Yeah, and the way we do it, it's not called a nose lift or anything. Kasi other clinics, what they do is they have a preformed silicone implant. Salpak lang yan. So you'll see that a lot of people look like they have the same nose, Spanish nose, or Filipino face, or Chinese. With Dr. Yap and Dr. Nato, all the people who are in our clinic, they actually sculpt the nose. It's bespoke. So it's talagang for your face, bagay. They measure your
kasi
cheeks,
hindi porket
the width.
matangos babagay sa'yo.
Yes. We use cartilage for the tips. It feels very natural. We use Vortex. We don't use silicone implants anymore. So that means kahit tinamaan ka ng bola, may sports ka, no problem.
How long is the downtime, Doc, for healing?
Downtime, what? I would say 2 weeks before you're presentable. Kasi in the beginning, may cast ka for 1 week, which is very important para it doesn't swell. And then when you take off your cast, you still look a little swollen, so it takes about another week for it to go down.
How do you whiten underarms?
We have a great machine, the Angel Whitening. It really is very good for underarms. We also have another machine, which is something that uses ultrasound. It's an ultrasonic blade. Sometimes kasi dark armpits are caused by many things.
So do your hormones also, di ba?
Hormones also. But
Genes?
hormones, medyo mahirap yun because it won't respond so well. Kasi estrogen can make it dark. The most common causes of dark underarms are
Blocking.
deodorant, because it's aluminum oxide. That's why Belo created a deodorant that has whitening ingredients to neutralize the darkening. Tapos kasi it's aluminum chloride. And you know naman, if you have aluminum pots and pans, they get black, diba? Especially when you combine it with perspiration. It gets acidic and then it gets rusty. So the first thing to do is laser hair removal so that you don't shave, you don't
I did that as well.
Yeah, you don't harm your armpits. No harm means no pigmentation.
And you can do it on your bikini area too.
And your bikini, everywhere you can remove your hair.
Anywhere.
And then after that, you should do the angel whitening. Smoothens out the
Is that
armpits.
painful though?
The angel whitening is not. But the laser hair removal talaga, so there'll be no ingrown hair. The worst thing you can do is get a bimpo, which people do all the time. They want to wash out the black. It won't work. It just gets darker because you're harming your
friction.
armpits. You have to be very gentle with your armpits. The skin here is very thin. So the best thing to do is just let the doctor do it, let Bello do it, leave it alone.
Yeah, because it's such a delicate area. Same goes with the singit area though, because people are also asking like, how they can make it whiter.
The angel whitening laser is the best for all the dark
How many
areas.
sessions are those usually?
It's usually once a month, and then you need to do 6 to 8 sessions.
And how much is it per session?
You know what? It depends on the area, so I'm not sure. I think you can look on our
Website.
website or you can call our hotline, which is 819-BELLO.
What's a perfect treatment for chubby cheeks?
Okay, for chubby cheeks, the best treatment for me is the V-Contour, which really makes it smaller. Then once you've made it smaller, it would be good to tighten it. Because of course, once there's no more fat, it's a little loose. So you tighten it with the Ulthera or the new thermage FLX. And we have the cheaper one, the Skin Reboot, if you're like
I
below
did that
40.
when I
It's
used
nice,
to be
diba?
scared of Ulthera. That's what you asked
That's
me
it.
to do
But the
first.
Skin Reboot is so nice because it also has a stem cell cream. So you really glow. But for me, it's nice to do Ulthera thermage first. Then if you need more tightening,
So,
do the Skin
Doc, if you
Reboot.
did Ulthera, now you can still do thermage?
You can. It depends. Like you can because your face is already tiny. But I had a patient the other day na she did Ulthera already, but she's still heavy. So we did thermage 3 months later after her Ulthera, which is very rare. I hardly ever do this. But I saw that she really needed more tightening, and then now she looks really good.
So what's the difference between Ulthera and thermage?
So it's the kind of energy that's used. So Ulthera uses high intensity focused ultrasound. So it tends to penetrate deeper. It can even go to the level of the muscle. It's very good for people who don't have very fat faces. Thermage, the new FLX, is much better than the old Thermage, and it's really good also for the jawline. I guess the difference is right now, Ulthera is more painful than Thermage, but it's cheaper. So right now, Thermage is 120,000. May promo because it's introductory right now. It's only Belo Medical Group that has most of the Thermages. And then the Ulthera right now is on promo. So now Ulthera is only 80. Until the end of the
80.
month, it's usually 110.
So someone was asking, what's the difference between fillers and threads and which one is more effective?
We use them as lifters. Lifters and fillers are like, kunyari kulang ka ng bone. Like you have nice bone, di ba? Me, I have nice bone. But some people, wala sila masyadong cheekbone. So, bagsak, kaya ako nahuhulog sa gitna ng face. So, in that case, we have to use the filler or lifter as parang bone, para hindi bagsak. Kunyari, wala kang cheek masyado, but we hardly put it, or chin. Very popular now. Our number one use of fillers is for the chin. For men naman, very in now the square jaw, the macho jaw. For threads, if you already have a nice jawline, you already have nice things with your skin. For muscle, kasi there's nothing we can do except threads. So in the face, the skin and the muscle are connected. They're like this. So when we do Ulthera, Thermage, or any of those things, we tighten the skin, but the muscle doesn't tighten. So it's still like that. So we have to add, that's why we call it Ulthera Prime or Thermage Plus, because we add threads to stimulate the muscle to contract, so it's nice and round again and lifted.
So are they comparable? Can you choose between one or the
usually we look at you and we decide. Sometimes we use both. Sometimes we just, if you're lacking in bone, then we just use fillers. If you have the right bone structure but your skin is like loose and saggy and your muscles are loose and saggy, then we use the thread. It's very hard to talk about it on vlog because you really have to be there and we'll show you, look, you don't have bone or the temples are empty.
Someone is also asking, how can they have dark under eyes and also like really, really bad eye bags.
Okay, so eye bags are usually caused by fat. The way I can tell is, face you don't have eye bags, so close your eyes. If you have eye bags, I press like that and then the fat will protrude. That's an eye bag.
Where will it protrude though?
But it just goes out. Okay, our eyeball sits on fat that's being supported by the fat. Now, as you get older, the fat kind of sticks out. So then it becomes an eye bag. You can either just remove it with laser, which takes about 10 minutes.
It's not invasive.
It's not. It's invasive in a way, but it's not because there's no wound or anything. It's inside. Actually, make baliktad the eye and then you do it inside and the fat pops out. My dream is to not have a groove between my cheeks and my eye. When you're young, like if you look at you, it's derecho. When you get older, nagkaka-break.
That's why people put fillers.
So but I don't like to do fillers around the eye because sometimes
delicado.
No, it's not delicado, but when you move your eye left and right, sometimes the fillers get massaged and then they form like an eye bag, another eye bag which you wanted to avoid. So I don't like to do it. So I like to do it with energy.
Even if the doctor is super duper good. No?
Even if the doctor is super good, it's your face, it's your ligaments that are not so strong. And your muscles are not so tight. It happens 20% of the time, but I don't want to be one of the 20%. So I just like to do energetic and I'm building it slowly, especially my forehead. That's another thing that gets old also. Like you have a nice round forehead.
Because of energetic.
I don't know if you can see, but I don't want to unbob my eyebrows, but it's skeletal and bony. I need to do energetic there and energetic here.
You also injected Botox here for me.
Right.
Because I had the 11 frown
the corrugators and the procerus lines.
Yeah, so it's not true that if you put Botox, your face won't move.
Yeah, move your face, see?
I'm still moving my
you have to go to the right doctor because of course you're all about looking natural. Hello, sweetheart.
Scarlett wants us to be done now, so that's our last question.
This is our last question. Say bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. We learned so much. Thank you so much.
For guessing me. Can you please say you're welcome? Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
If you have any more questions, just make sure to
we'll do it
contact
again.
Belo.
819 Belo.
819
Follow
Belo.
me on Instagram, please. Victoria_Belo. And Scarlet Snow Belo. Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.